The light reaches you. It is attached to a large anglerfish, its scales glittering in the darkness. The woman's singing ceases as the voice speaks to your mind. We had high hopes for you, Watcher of Cadnua.
Hello and welcome to session 29 of my Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire Lorethrough. As you can see, we are currently at the glowing Outcrop, which is on the island of the Splintered Reef. I'll say more about that a little bit later, but as always, I wanted to read from the guidebook to start this one off. We are continuing with the Saints and Relics section. Last time we read about Saint Kaza the Negotiator. This time we are reading about Saint Wámodh the Grove. I feel like that's supposed to be of the Grove, but I don't know. It's kind of that title, Saint Wámodh the Grove, suggests that the saint themselves is a grove. So let's see if I'm right about that. Considering the rarity of travel between temperate climates and the ice-strewn inland of the White That Wins, few stories break free of the local Pale Elf population that make it to the ears of outsiders. Saint Wámodh is one of the rare exceptions. His story was first traded among Valiant explorers around 900 AI, though it is purported to stem from much older source material. The story begins with a hunting party of Pale Elves, and their efforts to track a herd of musk oxen across a long stretch of barren ice. Either they lost their way, or Rimergond intentionally led them astray, because when the hunters reached the edge of the glacier, their prey was nowhere to be found. What they discovered instead was an oasis of fertile earth, which supported dense accumulations of exotic plant life found nowhere else in the region. In the center of this unexpected grove lived Wámodh, a godlike hermit possessing aspects of nature which grew upon his body. Water dripped from his fingertips, pollen fell from his eyelids, his feces were saturated with seeds, and he exuded a syrupy scent which attracted pollinators and decomposers alike from the insect world. Recognizing what the influence on the localized area could mean for their food production, the hunters resolved to take him back to their tribe, where his gifts could be put to better use. Wámodh grudgingly accepted this offer, and the hunters gave him little choice besides. He never had a chance to explain why he had separated himself from Kith's society. No sooner had they left the protective canopy of Wámodh's oasis than a giant form descended upon the party, that of a skeletal and icy aurochs, the embodiment of Rimergond. The god of entropy abhorred Wámodh's very existence, and had no wish to see any corner of his ice fields twisted into a garden. Wámodh fought for his life and managed to hold his own against the corruptive influence of the aurochs. Whenever a limb would freeze or rot, another would promptly sprout to take its place. In the midst of their unending combat, the hooves of Rimergond wore the land down into the canyon, which still exists to this day. At the bottom, a dense and unreachable jungle marks the place where Wámodh fell in defeat. Or so the tribes tell, since the canyon is too deep and impassable for travelers. Other versions of the tale say that the battle rages on, and that Rimergond is seldom seen because he is locked in the everlasting fight against Wámodh, perpetual spring. So yes, he's called Saint Wámodh the Grove because he is a grove, actually. A grove of verdant green in the White That Wins, which is mostly frozen wasteland. Well, not wasteland, tundra maybe. So Bjartur would almost definitely be familiar with Saint Wámodh the Grove, and while it says many of the Pale Elf stories don't make it beyond the White That Wins, this one did, so the other ones might be too. Also, as I was reading that, I felt very familiar with that story as well. Unfortunately, I can't remember why. I don't know if it's a memory of a previous playthrough of this game where I did the Beast of Winter DLC, or if possibly we had read a unique item that was associated with Saint Wámodh the Grove, or possibly from Gingerino's podcast, The World of Aora. He may have might have done an episode on Saint Wámodh at some point. I really can't be sure. Hopefully we get an answer to that, but right now I'm afraid that's just going to have to hang in the air because I'm not going to go search through all my other playthroughs and see if I can find something. Okay, so like I said, we are currently at the glowing Outcrop. We are searching for, I think we have 4 Blackwood logs. Let me just double check, see if that... Yeah, we have 4 Blackwood logs, which means we need 1 more Blackwood log to create the hull that we need in order to sail into Ondra's Mortar without the help of one of the factions of the game, which is what I want to do for this ending at least. I'm kind of the mind where this playthrough will be considered quote-unquote canon for Bjartar, but then I will be, like I said last time, going through and doing the other endings as well, just for completionist purposes. But right now we are trying to look for the last Blackwood log. This area that we are currently in now is in the Splintered Reef, and we've had some difficult fights here. I can't imagine that it would be any less difficult what we are about to face here. This place looks very ominous. There's this blood red glowing orb here coming out of a pool of what appears to be blood. There's a throne here. We already know that there is some kind of spell cast over the inhabitants of this land who are all vessels but believe they are still living, except for our friend whose name I always forget. Let's see if I can find that up. Paradise of the Mind. Copperhead, a Dargwool, who realizes that he is a Dargwool. But the other people here didn't seem to realize that they were actually vessels and not living. So I think what I want to do here is just see what happens. If it turns out to be a really difficult fight and not something that we are prepared for, then I will move on and go to that at some other point in the future. But if it's something we can do, then we might as well finish this up while we're here. I also realize that some of you may be kind of yelling at me because these fights are very difficult and I haven't upgraded my weapons probably and armor to the highest they could be. I just wanted to explain that the reason for that is that that's expensive to do, and it is also very expensive to get my ship up to snuff in order to be able to go into Ondra's Mortar. So I want to first make sure that I have the money to be able to do that, and then if we still have some left over, I will be upgrading my weapons and armor so that they can handle these kinds of fights a little bit easier than they have been, because it has been a little bit difficult here. But as you can see, all of my characters have some kind of injury here. I think I stepped on a trap at some point or something. So before we go anywhere, we can't rest here. So before we go anywhere, I'm going to turn around and rest. Let's see. We have Menzago. That was a name in the Menzago. I've reached the summit of the keep. If I am to have any hand in Splintered Reef's future, I'll have to deal with its current ruler. So Menzago must be current ruler. Although it doesn't look like we've actually heard that name up until now. Contrast to the numerous vessels you've seen within the crypt, the robed man who sits upon the nearby throne boasts every semblance of life. Only the pallor of his skin and the cloying odor of decay suggest anything to the contrary. I'm going to guess he's a vampire. And we have dealt with a vampire who has kind of bucked the trend. What happens with vessels in Eora is they start as a vampire. Well, I don't know if they always start as a vampire, but a vampire is the most ascended a vessel can be, the most powerful, also the most coherent. And then, as time goes on, and they need essence to survive, almost all the time, they can't get the proper essence. So they begin to degrade into a Dargwool, then a Ghoul, then a Revenant, and then a Skeleton. I think I got that right. But we have seen a vampire that was able to basically eat enough essence in order to stay alive for thousands of years. There was an Engwithan vampire in the Endless Paths of Adnua, which was underneath our Keep at Cadnua in the first game. So I wonder if maybe this guy is like that as well. I wonder if he has been able to keep himself alive for an extended period of time. We'll have to see. His fingers drum a steady tattoo against the thick, weathered grimoire he carries.
When my hunters informed me that there was a disturbance in the crypt, I looked out over the water, and there it was, a sail, a ship. For that instant, it was as if my heart skipped a beat. You can appreciate the irony there, perhaps. I must assume, of course, that you have escaped from someone's dinner plate.
You're Menzago?
Just so. How have you found Splintered Reef? It must make a curious scene to an outsider. A flock of gruesome puppets whiling away their lives in leisure.
They were, but we laid waste to an entire bar filled with them. Not on purpose, we just got attacked and I don't think we had a choice.
Decades of work, undone by a Nazenale. I have few hobbies with which to fill these long hours, and now I am denied even this. I, who was second in command to the great captain Lucia Rivan. Until the day came that I was charged to perch here and maintain her forces until she should call upon me again. A century of waiting while she sailed freely upon the sea. E così. But why not enjoy my stay?
So Lucia Rivan was the captain of the Von Ferris, which is the floating hangman ghost ship that has been seen around the Deadfire.
I have crafted my own little empire. Do not think I have forgotten my duty. I gave dear Rivan a part in my little mythology. Our glorious founder. But it is my little paradise. And you have no part in it, but that of livestock.
So you're responsible for the spell on these people.
In part, I set my best people to the task. You may have met them on your way here. Briefly.
Yeah, you probably killed them.
It took some time to perfect the illusion that holds Splintered Reef together. A spell of enormous power, requiring a focus. The sphere, just there.
He indicates, with a lazy wave of the hand, the sphere of energy at the base of the steps.
You may have cost me valuable allies, but we have, all of us, been here a long time. I have others at my command. I need only summon them.
This is the focus that he was talking about, this sphere that's hanging above this pool of blood. I don't actually know that it's blood, I'm just kind of assuming that. I'm here to free people of the Splintered Reef.
E così? Free them? They are cannibals, people eaters. Put a mirror up to that and their minds will collapse. No person enjoys discovering that they are a monster.
So I just remembering now that the vessels not only believe that they are living, that were at the bar, they also think that they're eating fifth corpses, but they were being convinced that it was not that. They were convinced that they were just kind of eating everyday, normal food.
True. I began with different ambitions. Lucia Rivan desired an army to aid in her conquest. An army that would not succumb to injury or disease. Easy to say, but what to do with them all when they start to rot? Hard for any man to keep his senses when he begins to see the inside of his face. And so, my advisors devised a means by which to make these wretches unaware of their sorry fate.
Undead army. I'll just say enough of this. Menzago makes the smallest motion, a slight wave of the hand, and the orb within the nearby platform sizzles and hisses, as if it had been plunged into embers. A chorus of anguished howls rise along the southern face of the cliff. That means we're going to be visited by a whole bunch of other things. That's just a vampire, that's Menzago. He does have a skull there.
Stand together!
And another vampire.
Ooh!
Oh, there they go. Of course. Didn't see them coming, and Maya's close to dead.
Holding my guts in here. Right between the eyes.
Try and put Zago into stasis. Cody. Did not work around Benzago. Okay, this isn't going well at all. We are going to come back to this. Instead, we're going to try and find that last Blackwood Log. Right. So, the last place we have to go is also a very difficult place. I'm hoping we don't have to do the whole thing, just like we did here. We were able to find the Blackwood Log somewhere over here. Then we don't actually have to complete it. So let's hope it's the same thing for this final Blackwood Log. I see. So we have to go up here. First, I want to fill in this. That first. Too far away, it won't let you click on it. Sail there. Let's then head to Arna's Observatory. That's close. Where I want to go. Now for any storms. Why it stopped here. Big ship. Guess we can check that out. On the horizon, a ship comes into view. Its sails furled, the ship lists upon the water. Plague ship! Dupek cries from the fore, finger jabbing skyward, indicating a green flag billowing lazily in the breeze in the ship's main mast. Naya leans in close. Don't think I need to remind you what happened last time we interacted with the plague ship. Dupek smirks. Was risking anything, aye? Even without a spyglass, you can spy a few living crew moving above deck. I'm going to use the spyglass. You survey the deck of the ship. A few deckhands appear to be taking stock of some cargo. Pale to the last, they appear exhausted, their clothes drenched in sweat. Alright, pull alongside. The crew guides your ship next to the plague vessel. The deckhands and captain appear shocked and apprehensive. Alia's mercy, the captain blurts out, his voice raspy. I didn't think anyone would come to our aid. The deckhands stand tall, but their unsteady posture betrays the sickness that seems to have affected them all. What are your people afflicted by? Some of my sailors have taken up the gut rot. You know it isn't fatal on its own, but we can't sail while they're barely standing. The captain surveys the sick crew with his sympathetic eyes. Not safely, anyway. Alright, I guess I'll call them again and get sick. Call forth the sickest sailor from your crew. We'll bring them aboard, examine them, and provide suitable remedies. What? Jody Red-Handed cries out. No one else in the crew says anything loudly enough to decipher, but their mumbling suggests they're unhappy about bringing a sick crew member aboard. Lost morale. As the sailor shuffles from the plague ship to yours, your crew clears a broad path. Some make warding signs or mutter prayers to Rimergond while the sick man passes. I can't thank you enough, the captain says. Without your help, who knows how long we would have been here. He offers you a small box. Take this, please, a token of my appreciation. Thank you. After a short period of examination, the sick sailor returns to his ship with enough remedies to treat the rest of the crew. Weary but hopeful, they wave goodbye as your ship continues on its way. We got a Stone of Power. +1 intellect and grants Power Surge. Boosts power level for the duration of the fight. Amulets are most often gems, medallions, or other items. Oh, that's just a generic amulet description. As your mainsail goes up and you head to the open water, Beato lets out a raspy cough and looks around nervously. The rest of the crew grits their teeth and mutters curses. It appears the sickness has spread to your ship. Yeah, I wish I could just use the medicine now. Wrecks your crew. The illness starts slow, cough here, the shakes there, but then it hits the crew hard and fast, washing across the deck like a rogue wave. Soon, your crew have devolved into a mucus-covered wretches with swollen eyes and scabrous rashes. Lost morale? Naya finds you in your cabin. Through the open window, you can make out the sound of one of your sailors retching violently. If this keeps up, Captain, your crew will be in no state to sail. Should I pray for divine intercession, like I did last time, or should we just use all the medicine that we can? Break out the medicinal store, so everyone gets what they need until this clears up. Berger returns with jars of thick brown thistletar. The thick salve induces an unpleasant stinging sensation when slathered over the afflicted areas. Soon, each member of the crew boasts patches of gooey brown across their skin. Lost medicine. With the correct remedy applied, the crew quickly recovers. Soon they're on deck, belting shanties toward the horizon. You sail on, and we got some morale back by doing that. I still have 210 medicine, so we're fine. 96 morale. Vampires Chris and Bent Bow Forest. I think we have at least stepped foot on that, but it was too difficult for us at the time. You find two of your crew and the members playing a game in the hold. Not going to engage with this. Imagine Seraphim likes that game very much. have to see me sail back so I can fill in a very small part of the map. Go. Outcasts Respite and Bootsuck Bog. You hear a knock at the door to your quarters. An unexpectedly cold wind blows across the deck of the ship, and even after several hours has not abated. Old Ingram sheepishly knocks at your cabin door. When he enters, his skin is pale. Alright, so this is where we have to make an offering to Ondra. I haven't tried to explain the science yet, so let's do this. This wind is a natural phenomenon, nothing to worry about. You explain at length how ocean winds can shift over time and in certain places seem unnaturally cold or warm for extended periods of time. Ingram protests, but has no educated arguments to make against you. In the end, the sailors acknowledge that you're captain and must know best in a thin voice that suggests otherwise. We lost just 2 morale from that. By the following day, the cold wind is lifted. The crew appears satisfied, but there's a lingering worry that Ondra has been slighted. More just to see what would happen. And usually I throw some coin to Ondra and then I give some to my crew as well. And obviously they like that, but we have 98 morale. Okay. So I'm just going to fill in the rest of this map right here, and then find the place that we have to go for the final Blackwood Log. School of fish here. Waters of the Deadfire is flat and translucent as a sheet of stained glass, and a steady wind guides Aston Min along. The scent of a well-spiced stew rises from below decks. Arena and Oswald are perched at the gunwale, legs and fishing poles dangling over the water. Got myself a real prize the other day, Arena says. Slipped off my hook, though. I keep telling you to use a bigger one, Oswald chuckles. I seem to recall that dark-eyed barkeep in Queensborough slipping off your hook, too. Sure, Arena will land a real prize someday. Arena smirks and laughs. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Captain. Not if the fool doesn't invest in better tackles, I'm saying, Oswald says. Arena has stiffened. See that? You look. A dark shape moves under the water. It's almost at the edge of the horizon, but it's rapidly approaching. Arena stands. One of Galloway's spawn. It's coming right for us. Identify it? There. Adair stares out at the ship. I think that's a barbed ravager. A barbed ravager, a gargantuan shark known for ramming ships and sinking them. That's defensive wards on the ship. Circle of protection or shields of the faithful. Let's do shields for the faithful. With arms spread wide, Shodi chants, weaving defensive magics across the hull. The surfacing beast is about 30 feet of scales, spines, and sinew. It looks like an enormous sharp, except for the wicked row of spines running along its body. Each looks sharp enough to cleave a man in two, or puncture the hull of a ship. Beast rams you. Your ship shudders, hurling Oswald into the mast. The sailor slides to the deck, unmoving. So he's injured. Fire the cannons, kill the bastard, or throw a grenade at it? Let's throw a grenade. Yeah, let's throw a grenade at it. Ravager again surfaces, and the grenade goes directly into its gaping maw. Its head vanishes in a cloud of cartilage and viscera. Bits of brain and muscle rain down upon the deck. Lost grenade. Thank you, Aloth. The crew swallows air, catching their breath. Someone below decks laughs. The rigging creaks. It's over. Got some experience, 4 sailor experience, and 10 morale. But I do need Ingram. There's Oswald. Oh, he's the navigator. And he is hurt. I have someone who is a good navigator. Yeah. Guess I'll just... No, that's not a good idea. We already have a bunch of deckhands, so... Let's put Worthless Idiot in a navigator's seat for... until Oswald is better. Yeah, if you rest, then you see that he's only injured for 4 days, whereas before it was 5. So there's a 40% heal rate when they are resting. Find 2 of your crew members playing a game. Sven the Truly Insane. Just wondering if we had a bounty. Let's see, is it here we need to go? Yes, I think so. Okay. Shipwreck huddles in the crashing surf, its splintered beams rising like ribs from the water. The wreck appears abandoned. Sift through the wreckage. Some palm stone. Nothing. Bit. Some ale. Water.
I said no to talk. The drowned Barrows are closed.
An elderly dwarf folds her arms, her disapproving frown warping the tattoos that encircle her face.
If you want to join your son, you can offer yourself to Nemnok next season.
I'm gonna listen.
Our elders crossed the land bridge to protect their children. You disgrace their memory, feeding our young to the mountain Anik.
The auburn-bearded dwarf waves toward an imposing peak in the horizon, its cliff face shaped like a leering skull. They sacrificing townspeople to its god Nemnok. God or bird or whatever. See the statue right here as well.
Nemnok will release my son, or perish.
Katak utters the words in a hate-filled whisper that causes Anik to hush the hiss through her teeth. And keep listening.
Kali served the tribe. You should live by his example and stop speaking foolishness.
I lived a full life in the shadow of the Barrows. Kali deserves the same.
If you reject Nemnok's accord, then you are truly lost. May Kali find peace in the embrace of the Mighty One.
Anik grits her teeth. and marches across the settlement, turning her gaze to linger on the distant outline of the mountain.
Spit on Nemnok.
Fire kelp and salt. Orphaned dog. Got some silverfin, cuttlefish, and hagfish. These fish have long since dried and lost their odor. I'll speak to Anik. Muttering in prayer, the tattooed chieftain scoops palmfuls of sand into a stout mound. She leans forward and blows in the mound hard enough to scatter it into the breeze. A smile spreads across her face as a breeze carries due north.
I offer amends for the slight of Tatok, Great One. A gift of breath and wind for his wasted words.
She opens her arms and calls out to the northern horizon. Finally, she dusts off her palms and turns to you.
Speak up, unless you're just resting your sea legs.
He raises an eyebrow and nods. What's a tribe of boreal dwarves doing in the Deadfire?
Thriving, my outlander friend.
Lips part, showing strong teeth.
The elders of my youth told stories of those who crossed the sea by a great land bridge. Now, I tell them to my children.
So, dwarves do have this desire to explore, but boreal dwarves are most commonly found in Nasatak, which is where Sagania came from the first game was from. Nasatak is actually fairly close to the White That Wins, which is where Pale Elves are also from, and so Biarter. I think this question, asking what a tribe of boreal dwarves is doing here, was not so much like, wow, I can't believe you traveled this far, but instead, I can't believe you've actually set up camp here. Like, this is where you live. I think that is what the surprise is. Not that they are seen this far from home, but that they actually seem to have made a home for themselves here, rather than continue their exploration.
The gods opened a path for us, and we trudged forward, spurred by inviting whispers carried over the horizon.
She nods towards the mountain in the north.
We followed prophecy until we found mighty Nemnok, who gives us safety, security, and a future.
She lets out a breath and smiles. I'm going to study her face tattoos. The ink outlines a complex maze from her jaw to her brow. You get a little dizzy from peering closer. Anik smiles as she takes notes of your interest.
When I was born, the Holy Woman told my mother these markings would bring me luck. So far, they bring only more questions. But is that not the nature of faith?
What was that argument about?
Kali joined mighty Nemnok in the drowned Barrows, against the wishes of his infidel father.
Anik folds her arms and glances over your shoulder.
Nemnok does Kali great honor. Tatok is a fool to think otherwise.
Kali is the son who is being sacrificed. Tatok is the father. What's Nemnok?
Nemnok is the god of this island and patron of our tribe.
Anik crosses her arms over her chest. So, Nemnok is a god. Or, at least they worship him as a god.
Nemnok gives life and safety to all Junvik. To feed the Barrows with sacrifice is to feed our prosperity.
Why did Nemnok take your tribesmen?
It is not for me to question the will of a god, nor is it any business of yours.
She furrows her brow and pins you with a warning glance.
Kali was blessed to be taken. May we all be as clever and beloved as he.
Earlier you mentioned something about Nemnok's accord?
In exchange for our obedience to Nemnok's laws, the Mighty One guarantees our safety and plenty.
She clasps her hand over her heart and bows to the north.
One day, all of the Deadfire will accept Nemnok's accord.
Back to my other questions.
Speak on then.
Farewell. Okay, so Biarter and Maya just leveled up. So this Nemnok here... Oh, let's see what it says. The air feels slightly warmer around the carved figure. This, I'm going to say, is a depiction of Nemnok, the god of this island. But I'm sure we're going to find out more about that. Let's level up Biarter and Maya. if there's anything that will make... So, hammering thoughts, the Cypher's able to use the echoes of time to drive home strikes for their weapon, increasing their penetration. So let's do that. So hopefully we hit more often. And then Maya still need to get her weapon. So I think I want to give empowered attacks greater penetration. See if that helps anything. Let's go talk to Tatok.
Happily.
Cannons. Need him.
Some ink must have leaked through Anik's skull if she thinks I'll stand idly by.
Tatok mutters to himself as he presses a fine chisel into the scales of his armor, engraving runes, one laborious curve at a time. Lean in for a better look at the engraving. The runes are in the Nasatak language, at least half of which spell out a litany of violent and colorful curses. The chisel goes askew and draws a harsh line across the iron. Tatok's eye twitches.
Ah, there goes the rest of my day. What do you want, Outlander?
Sparing you a glance, Tatok begins to furiously buff the metal with the edge of his fist. Anik told me about Kali.
She tell you about walking him up to the mouth of the Barrows without my say?
Grimaces to the east.
Nemnok accepted him. An honor to some, a tragedy to me.
Tatok sighs and wipes his brow with the back of his hand. This Nemnok lives in the Drowned Barrows?
Aye, there in the big mountain. Mighty Nemnok's hall of power.
He nods toward a distant peak.
Nemnok and the ogres watch over our tribe, keep us safe. But the cost...
He shakes his head and chisels a deep accent into one of his runes. I hear that Nemnok is your god.
God of the island, a great terror of a being, but kind to us when we follow the rules.
He shakes his chisel at the stone idol in the center of the village.
A false god, you mean?
He's not perfect, but he's our god, lass.
Tatok sighs up at the idol.
His likeness is the most any of us have seen. We only meet his ogre minions who guard the isle. The children we send, they face him in the mountain.
They're not just sacrificing anyone, they're sacrificing children. He nods towards the northern horizon. I've heard nothing about a new god. This might bear a closer look.
Nemnok sure takes like a god. He demands readers, scribes, anyone handy with ink and quill. My Kali had the misfortune to be born clever.
Tatok grimaces to himself.
Did you say you'd go to the Mountain of Power? Would you find my boy while you're there?
Tatok pauses. His work to blink at you.
We send other tithes to the mountain as well. Gold, gems, items of power, if such things interest you.
Tatok winks and clears his throat. I'll look out for Kali while I'm there.
My thanks, Outlander. I have no cause to expect help, but I'll take it where I can.
Tatok tentatively inclines his head.
Next time it'll be Nemnok who pays.
Tatok chews his lower lip and sighs as he marches toward his hut. Alright, so we've just got a new quest. Nemnok the Devourer, the Junvik people speak of Nemnok, the mysterious god whose lair is in the depths of the Drowned Barrows. Nemnok takes offerings from the tribe, most recently a boy named Kali. The prospect of a new god is troubling at best. Unless Nemnok is merely some new aspect of Skane or Wall playing tricks on the world, the matter bears closer scrutiny. Someone named Gable here and a hungry dog. Oak. +1 might. Nice.
Outsider, you come for food?
The merchant squares his shoulders and folds her arms. Yes, show me what you have.
As you wish.
She nods stiffly and gestures to her wares. Nature's Embrace. 2 burn armor rating plus 2 freeze armor rating. 10% chance to grant the wearer and nearby allies woodskin when the wearer is critically hit. Bunch of food, basically, after that. Do I have things to sell? Yes. Okay. Why none of this is stealing? There's the drowned barrows right there. This skull-looking island here. A mountain commands the northern horizon. Its cliff face like the likeness of a rotted skull. Scavenger birds circle high above its peak in a morbid halo. Go north. As you approach the base of the mountain, the beating of drums reverberates from the skull's gaping mouth and vacant eye sockets. Let's climb up to the eyes. Pitted rocks offer enough hand and footholds to climb as high as the bridge of the nose. The reverberation of drums shakes free an occasional pebble. Let's climb to the left eye. You make your way to the ledge of the orbital socket. A sharp drop leads down to the cavity of the skull. Lights twinkle in the shadows below, and voices echo from an unseen source. It would take the right tools or an agile fall to make your way down. Let's use a rope and grappling hook. Anchoring a hook and rope, you lower yourself down into the shadows of the cavern. As you pause to survey your surroundings, the oppressive beating of drums throbs in your ears.
Looks like a skull. Big evil monster statue at the entrance. I've got a good feeling about this.
Alright, the other 3 all leveled up, so let's do that now. And should we go somewhere else? He's got a survival of 20. I feel like that's high enough. Streetwise, I guess, and athletics. So sure, every time I'm critically hit, I have a chance to gain discipline, so give me some more discipline, hopefully. Cody. Pigeon. Arcana. I like this one. So I'm going to get that one. Sparks of the souls of the righteous ignites a powerful zeal within allies that manifests in an aura that shocks any enemies near them. Aloth. There's physics and explosives. I'm going to do this, Uncanny Luck, because when he starts getting hit, he can go down pretty quick. So that gains a small chance to completely avoid any attack and to convert some hits to critical, hits. Let's do that. Okay. I wonder if we can go in the other eye.
What's this? I already told those Aeton clods were at capacity for scribes and acolytes. Those incessant drums have beaten our guards senseless.
Robed acolyte curls his lip and advances on you with a look of frank appraisal.
We aren't accepting new recruits. Now go! Our progress wallows as you degrade the left eye with your presence.
I'm looking for Kali.
The new boy. Nemnok fawns over him in the lower sanctum.
Canuk grimaces toward the exit.
Only acolytes, ogres, and Naga go down there, and any of them would chew you to pieces.
The smirk grows wider still, flashing a hint of teeth. Didn't see it in your heart to let me through?
What spasm of unreason compels you to ask this? No.
I'll be off then. Farewell.
Seeing as Nemnok hates unexpected company, let me summon an escort.
Nick winks and snaps both of his fingers at once.
Trouble.
So his escort was to attack us? Scrivener Warlock.
Hey, give me a hand here.
Difficult. Maybe that means we are prepared enough for this place. It's fine and exceptional things. Next memo. One of these Jotun clods accidentally kicked the switch of the master's private storage room and nearly snapped it off the wall. Is the sacred duty of playing drums and wandering the halls so boring that they have to dismantle our home brick by brick? I took the liberty of pushing some barrels of lamp oil against the switch. At least anyone who kicks those won't live to regret it. None of you should need to enter the storage room, but I want no delays if the master calls for his favorite cloak. That's Canuk's memo and the scroll of nature's mark. So it means there's a switch hidden behind some lamp oil somewhere. Superb spear. Superb padded armor.
You were saying?
Grill of tornado and palm slats. Where's Maya with her weapon here? Still at 3. Someone has painstakingly annotated these scrolls of arcane lore with pronunciation guides. Scroll of form of helpless beast, palm slats, and grog. Barrows guard.
Could be true.
It's gonna attack us.
That order's too tall.
Okay, we have a... There, another acolyte. Okay, this is that thing. Alright, so who's up front here? Is that a dare? Nope, that's Bjarter. I'm going to run. And...
That was about as useful as...
There we have a little bit more room.
Sorry. I'm alright.
Glory be to God! I'm not sure I can.
This is futile!
Hey, give me a hand here.
Leak now.
No. Paralyzed? Is that what's going on?
Not even close.
Shody's new spell.
I'll naked us both!
We're dropping like flies.
How may I help?
All things must come to an end.
Firefly, I need you standing now.
Okay, so maybe we aren't ready for this place then. Maybe that was just really bad luck there. Alright, let's see. Back to where we died before. Goes down.
Got someone in my sights.
Yeah!
Alright, let's see what happens here.
Sick.
That would be a no.
Hey, that wasn't that bad.
This is
Like
futile!
wading through mud up to my armpits. Ixie, on. I think that's beyond me. Time to separate the chaff. Say your prayers.
Okay. Yeah, that was much easier that time, so I must have just approached that very wrong the first time around. Is that going fine?
Indeed.
Get some superb leather armor, though.
What did you? And is she?
Note on the forge. Let this serve as a general reminder that the Flame Naga are sensitive to disruption. You must venture downstairs, try to give Forge Master Tithys a wide berth while she's at work. Many of her staff have not enjoyed favorable encounters with Kith in the past, and use the forge as a kind of creative outlet. Let's do our part and keep them comfortable, Acolyte Kinnock. Superb dagger, emerald, forgetful knight. Enjoyed by many brave tavern patron, this fiery libation of disparate liquors is tasty and potent. The formidable hangover it imparts, however, caused many a hard drinker to swear it off for good.
Got someone?
Stand together!
Scrivener Warlock,
Sis.
Barrows Guard, and another Barrows Guard.
Lava beyond sick.
Mowing. Ixie, on.
Wolf and rough. Lava beyond sick. Yeah!
Guards are hardy guards.
That's embarrassing.
Speak freely.
Lava beyond sick.
Mowing. Ixie, on.
Stand together! Yeah!
Ixie, on.
Down, laddie!
Mowing. Ixie, on.
Alright.
Gone, darn it.
Oh, darn it. Exceptional, some superb, okay. Some superb things.
Can do.
Superb Warhammer, Black Pearl, and Obsidian Skull. Black Pearl, I think, are items we need to upgrade things to either legendary or superb.
Hey, that wasn't that bad.
So I wonder if that first one where we died, I wonder if that was because we fought all of these guys at the same time, whereas this time they were much more spread out.
Mowing. Ixie, on.
Of course.
Got brutish blood and white yennefer. The occasional sulfur bubble pops on the surface of its warm pool.
What did you find, Ishi?
Happily.
Got some merc berries and pork. Exceptional scepter and obsidian spalls.
What are we here?
Indeed.
I wonder if this is the right eye here. There. Alright, so we have top all mapped out. Let's now head to the bottom floor and handle whatever's down there.
Looks like...
Yeah! This is futile!
Here comes some guards and an acolyte. Another acolyte and a warlock.
Rather difficult to concentrate.
Here's another warlock. Get rid of them.
Stand together!
You know what else I've been consistently forgetting about is exposed vulnerabilities. I should be doing that.
I'm good and stuck.
That's on me.
Darkness flows.
This acolyte. I think he's causing a lot of trouble for us right now. Oh no, it was the warlock and he's dead.
Stand together!
Guards are right down here.
We're dropping our flags.
Get him in time.
Still got it.
They'll naked us both! Still hasn't learned how to take a hit. May I be a candle in the night.
These guards. I think I have to upgrade my weapons. These guards are taking such a long time to kill.
That dog won't hunt.
Right.
Don't see why not.
Let's see what we got here. That's already... Okay, so that's already superb. That's superb. Superb crossbow. Dagger. What does she need to do? She needs to deal 7 more damage to spirits. Damn, so close. Yartar has a superb blade, legendary gun, and exceptional pistol. Maybe I'll... I have a superb pistol anyway. No, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Aloth. It's only fine, although his wand is superb. I could do that. Make his scepter superb as well. What's Misotheist? Reject the power of the gods. Aura grants party chance to reflect punishment and condemnation. Sure, why not? Then Maya just has her soulbound weapon. I'll also be looking at their armor, especially at Dare's. What is it? Let's make his Saints War armor superb. Could also make it legendary. I think that's a good idea. Okay. Veterans maneuver. At the start of combat, the wearer is immune to any attacks targeting reflex until they're hit twice by other attacks. Interesting. Resistance to perception of flames. So let's give it veterans. I can't choose rock solid. I have no idea what's going on down here. Oh, so I can only do like a steel trap. Okay. Shodi's armor. Exceptional. Carry medium armor, so let's give her some superb medium armor. Have that. I don't have that. And then Bjartar also only has exceptional, and he needs something medium. Okay. Keep that in mind. Superb mail armor. There we go. I'll give that to Bjartar. The rest will go in here. Okay, so we've got superb armor now. Arquebus and Frog Helm. The eyes of the statue seem to follow you as you move around the room. That is the same statue that we saw in Davnik, I think it was called, the town. Scrivener Warlock.
Trouble. My friend. That's not very helpful.
Let's see if our newly upgraded things help us out at all.
Tell me,
Where is Aloth? Why is he getting hurt?
I'm stuck.
We won't show him the whip feather yet!
I think something weird was happening there, like everyone was trying to get to this guy in the back, and they were all hung up and not doing anything.
Stand together!
Get threat. That dog won't hunt.
I need to... Let's see if I can reach him. That way he can't, at least can't cast spells on us. I can't get to him.
I need you standing now.
Jody and Aloth are both down.
That wasn't that bad.
Stand together! Very well.
Wow. Okay. Wonder
Your orders?
for AI. So looking for superb medium armor for Shodi, and I'm also going to rest here.
Can do.
Thin tendrils of steam rise from this pool of sulfur.
What are we here?
Of course.
What's going on in this room here? There's a sigil of death. Those are bad.
Tell me.
And Aloth. Actually hurt them.
There's a walloping!
There we go. Yeah. Don't have to worry about those anymore.
Gladly.
Happily.
What did you... And is she?
Indeed.
I feel like there's another trap in here somewhere. Yeah. Sword and Rauta scale armor. Exceptional 1, scroll of twin stones from tinder. Another statue of Nemnok here. Alright. think this is where I have to go for Blackwood Log.
I'm afraid I'm not dressed for the occasion.
Nope. Okay. I'm headed back up. Don't want to deal with that just yet.
Could be a
Flame Naga Disciple.
This is
Sentinel. That's Forge Master Titus. He's casting spells.
Might as well be hitting the water.
For the homeland.
Hey.
together.
So then I can make it.
This is futile.
Not anybody dying. A reptilian eye.
good thinking.
Happily.
Rune powder, scales, and a fang. Antidote, an egg.
We got
Another sentinel up here, and a disciple. I think we should go after the disciple first.
That dog won't hunt.
Man, these sentinels love Maya. Another disciple over there.
Gaia's down. Nothing I can do.
Smarks, don't it?
I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that she is Royal Deadfire Company, or maybe
Darkness,
just unlucky. Didn't check her armor. Her armor. Wearing much. Exceptional hide armor. So she's got light armor. I do have some superb light armor. Yeah, let's put some superb hide on. Hide armor on her. See if I can get rid of these two. She's ranged, so let's give her this thing that she basically catch things that are shot at her. Give her resistance against poison. And then give her the boots of speed, so if she does get caught up, she can run away a little bit easier. If we can get some rings on her too. Girdle of mortal. Oh, that's a. Is that a ring? Belt. I want to give. Oh. Let's give her the Quenya signet ring. Okay.
I'll put this to good use.
Greatsword and 2 rubies. Sweat speckles your brow as you step closer to the glowing forge.
We got
Fresh fruit. Is there an enemy that came into me as I started resting? Yes, okay. Oh, I forgot about that guy. We saw him.
Folks.
Yeah!
Reptilian eye and is out of no shells. Bang. Got an exceptional morning star, an exceptional saber.
I see them.
Yo, dweller.
between the eyes.
Stay behind me.
That dog won't hunt.
No, not that.
Hit me again and I'll hit you back.
Gotta remember to use exposed vulnerabilities with Aloth, because very helpful, and I remember it being
As you
first
wish.
too.
Hey,
Jotun's here. Death Warden Latouk. To you.
Stand together! Ha! That's for
That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Let's see if I can stasis this Death Warden here. Yes, I can. That's nice.
So help me God on.
As you wish.
You have to wait now.
tell me.
This is futile.
That wasn't half bad.
These uns are in for a walloping.
I wonder what's paralyzing him, so I really do appreciate the paralyze that's happening here. Sigil of Deathward Stone. That probably would have been useful, but we just blew up the sigils. The alcove reeks of distillation experiment gone wrong.
What
Eek.
Of course.
here?
Uh-oh, here we go again. Let's put Maya out in
Follow
front.
my lead.
I think Maya has the highest perception, which is why I did that.
Indeed. Of course.
There is a chance that my mic went out. I'm not exactly sure. That's why I did the save there, just in case it did. Greatsword, Scroll of Form a Helpless Beast, and Frostbomb. Frostbomb, huh?
Happily.
There's like a wall there and just showed a staircase, so. Exceptional pistol, blessed incense, and palm slats. Many of these threadbare scrolls are held together with stitching. Others show signs of claw marks. And there it is. Blackwood Log. Nemnok's Cloak. Life of Suffering, plus 15% damage taken. Damn. Ability triggers when wearer falls to 75% health. Grants Spirit Shield. Surrounds the caster with a shield of spirit energy. And then 50% less health. Iron Skin, 25%. Barring Death's Door. Huh. This dilapidated cloak once belonged to one of Nemnok's unfortunate guests. This particular dwarf was no penitent worshipper. Rather, he claimed to be a great warrior come to slay Nemnok and free his tribe from the monster's reign. He boasted of his magic cape, which could stave off injury and death. Then, with a mighty shout, the warrior challenged Nemnok to battle. After a brief and one-sided bout, Nemnok subdued the would-be usurper and set to work torturing him to death. Remarkably, the cape sustained its reputation, and the dwarf stubbornly clung to life for quite some time. So, yeah, it kept him alive, but it seems like that actually did not help him. Torture even worse, as he survived through it. Rune powder and ink harps. Right. We finally have our 5th Blackwood Log. I think what I want to do, now that we have all of our Blackwood Logs, is go to Nekataka and craft the hull, but I don't want to equip it yet. Because as I was doing all of this looking around to see how to make this happen, I found out that there is a unique ending if you try to go through Ondra's Mortar without the Dragonwing sails and the Blackwood hull equipped on your boat. So I want to see if we can get that ending. And then after that, I will go there legitimately and try to get actually through the storm. And once we hopefully get through the storm, I'm going to call this episode over, and then in the next one we will complete the game, the first completion of the game. Alright, so let's leave.
You sure?
Everything looks maxed out. That thing, don't worry. Actually, maybe I will, because it kind of is on the way to Kaka.
My lips would all grow moldy. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Tommy, way, haul away. The good ship now is rolling. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Old Gaffin held the Yenwood's crown before the revolution. Way, traitor pay, he had his retribution. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Way, haul away, a good ship now is rolling. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Young Gathmin sought the Yenwood's crown, long past the revolution. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. The watcher met him on the field, he gave him execution. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. To me, way, haul away, the good ship now is rolling. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. Young Gaspin sought the Yenwood's crown, long past the revolution. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. The watcher met him on the field, she gave him execution. Way, haul away, we'll haul away and go. To me, way, fat and lazy. Way haul away, we'll haul away and go. And then I met an Ozian girl, she drove me crazy. To me, way haul away, we'll haul away and go. To me, way haul away, the good ship now is rolling. Way haul away, we'll haul away and go.
So sorry for being quiet for so long there, but I realized while they were singing the little shanty there that that was a song about us, the Watcher, and our the attempted coup on Cadnua, our keep, by Lord Gathbin, who attacked us, and we had to meet him in battle. And I didn't realize that we had a shanty that was actually about us, so that was just kind of nice to listen to. Now, I did listen to Gingerino's World of Aora podcast on the sea shanties, and as I was listening to it, I was kind of recalling that he did talk about that, but it was something that I had forgotten since then. But I'm kind of hoping now, I feel like there are books here that have the actual lyrics to the sea shanties that they sing, so hopefully we find those at some point so we can see exactly what it is they're saying, because there were some things I wasn't exactly sure. But anyway, we have two crew members arguing on the deck. An argument from the deck pulls your attention away from the gentle rocking of the ship and the smooth expanse of blue on the horizon. Half those fish are floating belly up, cries Eldengram. Better we throw out the whole catch than end up with rot-bellied crew. They looked alive enough when we hauled them out, Jody red-handed retorts, gesturing violently at the pile of fish on the deck. Fish die when you pull them out of the water. That's what fish do. Let's check the fish for signs of disease. Several of the fish displayed discolored scales and bloated bellies, clear signs of disease. Possible their meat could sicken the crew. See? Eldengram asked Jody red-handed, scowling. You trying to give us all the squat and splatters? Fish go back in the sea. I won't risk the crew's health. Wisest course, Captain. Eldengram nods. Two hands dump the barrel overboard, returning the fish to the sea. Let's see if we can just buy it here. No, any of the actions help. I have beat this game before. Several times, actually. And I have done it, I think I've done it with every single faction, including on my own. And I had just forgotten since then. But I don't know if maybe I just missed something somewhere, or if the game doesn't explain to you through quests and dialogue how to get your ship through Ondra's Mortar without a faction, like what it needs to actually make it through there, or if that's just meant to be like a reward for people who already have beaten the game to look it up and figure things out on their own. I do know that, just through like looking things up, I do know that at some point it was much easier to do this. Like, you didn't need those 5 Blackwood logs. You could just buy the hull. Stop there. So I know that that happened at least. And like I said, I don't know if there is some quest that we missed somewhere, or if you're just meant to look this up. Let's hope. Why? Okay, so I'm silly. The crafting menu. That's how I do it. It is 4,005 Blackwood hulls. So I did get an update to the quest. I have acquired the Blackwood hull. While it won't make my ship indestructible, its strength will help me survive the storms around Ondra's Mortar. Acquired the Dragonwing sails. Their unmatched toughness will withstand the fierce winds of Ondra's Mortar better than any other in the Deadfire. So, what I want to do here... Did I buy the... I have the dragon wing sails and the Blackwood hull. Not going to sail up to Ondra's Mortar and try to go without them. Just wonder. And I'm going to try to do it without them so we can get that unique ending, hopefully. And then after that, we will equip them and go through it again. Like I said earlier, that will be the end of this session here. I apologize that I just went around like the entire world map to try and find something that I just needed to do in the menu. Oh my god, this game.
It was on a cold and stormy night. The snow was on the ground. A sailor boy stood on the quay. His ship was outward bound. His sweetheart standing by his side had many a silent tear.
We get around.
And
We have to go that way.
as he pressed her to his heart, he whispered in her ear, "Farewell, farewell, my own true love.
Nope.
This parting gives me pain. I'll be your own true guiding light when I return again. My thoughts shall be of you, when the storm is right."
Many oceans to sail and many lands to explore, but what lies ahead of you dwarfs them all. Should you choose to sail on, you suspect there will be no return. Not to the Deadfire you've come to know. I'm going to go back. Then, save it. Actually, manual save here. Then we'll go. Continue forward. Set a course through the channel and into uncharted turbulent seas. The storms of Ondra's Mortar encompass the visible horizon. Hurricane winds roar like an imprisoned beast, blowing with enough force to warp the very seas. Past the curtain of rain and above the swell of waves, you can just barely perceive the outline of colossal Audra pillars. Sail into the storm. No sooner does Astonmin head into turbulent waters than you catch a sight of a ship speeding after you, its sails flapping violently in the winds. Someone has followed you. It remains to be seen whether they can keep up, but for now, the storm is concerning enough. Headscarf whipping in the wind, Naya frowns. Gods, Captain. If I'd known, if any of us had known. With a shake of the head, the mariner chuckles. Damn. Altia stands at the rail. Says I hate agreeing with Naya. Damn. There ain't no charts for what lies ahead. Perched on the rail, one hand clinging to the rigging, laughs, lips curling on over uneven teeth. You kiddin'? This be exactly the kind of shit I signed on for. The hand howls in the wind. A hand falls on your shoulder, and you turn to see Eldengram. We go now where gods would not have us tread, yet their skin guided us here, inexorable and incontrovertible. The hand's smile balances on the knife's edge between comforting and disquieting. Have faith. Both hands on the wheel, Beidel stares out across the whitecaps. We really doing this, ain't we? And sail into the Mortar itself. Gods help us. Aethys threatens everything and everyone you know. Whatever you love, whatever you hold sacred, we're here to say it. Save it. Naya nods, striding forward. Not a one of us took this commission thinking we'd be heroes, but here we are. Let's show this oversized squall our true mettle. Morale? Heading into the mouth of the storm, you hear the sound of tearing canvas as the wind batters your sails, an unfavorable omen of the start of a hard voyage. You press on in spite of all the misgivings, intent on making it to the bitter end. Sails vast and mean take 10 damage. Looming in the water directly ahead stands a pillar of Audra. It reaches up from the seafloor to pierce the sky like a god-sized finger, aimed in accusation. Before you can worry about the pillar ahead, your ship jolts and the hull groans against the Ondra lurking unseen beneath the waves. Two things happen in quick succession. The sound of splitting wood fills your ears, and the ship starts to drift at a lethargic pace. Without needing to confirm it, you know that you're taking on water. Your vessel dips beneath the waves and sinks, taking all hands down with her.
In spite of all your efforts, you are unable to overcome the terrible power of Ondra's mortar. Your ship is overwhelmed, and you with it. It takes only moments for the entire vessel to be swept beneath the waves. As you sink into the depths, the din of the storm recedes above you. Soon, it is little more than a muffled rumble. You are alone in the dark, awaiting death. Your lungs begin to burn. In the distance, you can see a dim light making its way toward you. A plaintive tune accompanies it. A woman's voice. Somehow, it calms you, in spite of your circumstance. The light reaches you. It is attached to a large anglerfish, its scales glittering in the darkness. The woman's singing ceases as the voice speaks to your mind. We had high hopes for you, Watcher of Cadnua. Your body betrays you, drawing in a large gulp of seawater. Your chest spasms. The pain is unbearable.
Ondra speaking to us there.
Be still now. Forget your pain. Forget your struggle. The anglerfish's light begins to dim and turn sideways. But perhaps it is your sight that is failing. Your body that is turning. Can't seem to think straight. Forget. The sensation of pain begins to fade. Then all sensation fades. Forget. The rest is darkness.
Very on brand for Ondra. You throw things to the bottom of the ocean so that they can be forgotten. And here we are, getting thrown to the bottom of the ocean, meaning that the Watcher is forgotten as well. Downer ending, but we kind of knew that that would be the case. Let's load up our last save here. Now we will equip. Dragonwing sails. Blackwood Log. Let's see if that does us better. I won't read all this again. I am going to respond differently when we go into the storm, so I'll read after that. This is what I'm going to say this time. Aston Mean's crew is the finest in the Deadfire. You'll get us through Ondra's mortar. I know it. Oh, I just realized something. Oh, let's see if this works. Oswald is still healing. So hopefully that doesn't mess with us. We'll see. With a faint but determined smile, Naya nods. You all know your jobs, and you all know what's at stake. What's this but one more squall? To stations! A cheer rises as the hands scurry about the decks. Heading into the mouth of the storm, you hear the sound of tearing canvas as the wind batters your sails. An unfavorable omen at the start of a hard voyage. You press on, in spite of all misgivings, intent on making it to the bitter end. Looming in the water directly ahead stands a pillar of Audra. It reaches up from the seafloor to pierce the sky like a god-sized finger aimed in accusation. Before you can worry about the pillar ahead, your ship jolts and the hull groans against the Audra lurking unseen beneath the waves. Your ship's Blackwood hull takes the beating without incident, though the pillar itself remains a threat. The choppy currents spin your ship toward a collision course. Smashing against the pillar's gargantuan trunk would make for a quick and unceremonious end to your journey. After a series of hard turns and some clever cheating of the wind, your helmsman narrowly steers the ship out of harm's way, missing the pillar entirely. No more Audra pillars are in evidence ahead, but the storm grows fiercer as you persist in challenging it. The howling wind threatens to shred your sails to ribbons, and visibility is dropping fast. Damage? What begins as an irregularity in the water current broadens as the sea churns open a maelstrom. Your ship balances on the brink of being swept down. The tide redoubles its pull, intent on drawing you closer to an inescapable, hungry maw. The wind howls in fury, threatening to tear your sails to ribbons. With a sound like a whip, the dragonwing sails catch the wind and hold fast. The whirlpool still looms ahead. The only option is to sail at full speed, breaking the whirlpool's grasp by force. Your swift maneuvering breaks the ship free of the maelstrom's deadly grasp, at the unfortunate cost of your sails, which take heavy damage from the turbulent winds. So, since we have a level 3 deckhand, we were able to do that, and because we had a level 3 helmsman, we were able to go around the first big Audra pillar. Hopefully, we don't need a leveled navigator, because that was Oswald, who currently healing. Sails take more damage. The howling of the wind builds to a constant shriek, and the rain pounds your deck with relentless animosity. The wave swells ahead, monstrous enough to eclipse your vision. The prow of your ship slowly rises to meet it head-on. Even if you wanted to, you could not turn back now. Your crew masters their fear and holds fast to their posts. Against all odds, the ship crests the wave successfully. In spite of the crew's haggard state, a cheer goes up in your honor when everyone realizes they're still alive. Your ship rides the sheer slope of the wave and crashes back down, staying upright all the while. It doesn't immediately register that you have survived. While the rain continues to indignantly pelt you with water, the seas ahead look calmer than those you left behind. The relief is short-lived. An enormous form crests the waves and bears down on Aston Mean with incredible speed. Before it can collide with your hull, it dives back into the deep. Tense minutes pass, in which you wonder if it will resurface. When it doesn't make another appearance, you press on with caution. Though your visibility is low to non-existent and your heading is a mystery, you sense a glimmer of light far ahead. One shining beacon in the obscurity. Taking the wheel, you sail for Aethys. The seas are calm again. As the skies begin to clear, you make out a growing shape on the horizon. Ukaizo. You see that here. This hill, there is a tower on top of the hill. Ornate spires reach up from the island, hinting at the city within. Not all of Ukaizo has weathered the millennia with equal grace. Other structures jut and lean out of the surrounding shallows, making the waters around the island impassable by ship. Resolve to take a skiff the rest of the way. Right. Travel to Ukaizo. Our next quest is to locate Aethys. Now that I've arrived at Ukaizo, it's just a matter of finding Aethys. Assuming he still occupies a 700-foot colossus, that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, Maya leveled up. Oh, she just leveled up, too. I've level 18 is the top level. Can't be, because I'm still 9 here. going to give her... Give her twin shot. The ranger performs a ranged primary attack that shoots 2 projectiles at once. And I also want to make sure give Shodi the breastplate. It's got exceptional scale armor. See if it says like we're really close here. 15. Don't need to do that now. Let's take a look. This is Ukaizo Harbor. We see all of the Ondra that's around here. Like there's piles of things here, and I'm pretty sure in these 2 areas here I saw the Guardians as the camera was panning. Let me just zoom in on those real quick. Oh, can't see them from here. And I don't want to go forward and fight them because that we are going to save for next time. So we have finally made it to Ukaizo. We made it without the help of any of the factions, so we don't owe them anything. We wanted to do that because they just seemed to be acting rather peddly about the whole thing and having plans for Ukaizo beyond just needing to confront Aethys and figuring out what the hell is going on here. So I'm glad that we did that. This, like I said before, I think I'm going to consider this quote-unquote canon for Bjartar, but after, we will be doing some of the other endings and we'll be going through the DLCs as well. But I do hope you join me next time for when we complete the game for the first time. And until then, if you have any questions, comments, clarifications, I would love to hear from you. But I hope you will join me next time for more sentences and paragraphs. Bye, everybody.